here we are, 3 years later after Tears of the Kingdom came out. Oh boy. I love this game. I just love this game. It's fantastic. But I've been seeing a lot to say on the internet a little bit after it came out, maybe a year after it came out. I don't know if people are still thinking this way or what, but people were saying that this game was awful. That it was terrible. That, it was probably worse than Breath of the Wild, that they hated it, the story had so many holes in it, that a lot of what was promised was not delivered, there was a lot of false potential in this game, and yeah, I can see that. I'm not saying that I disagree with those points at all, but I also think that it's not fair to this game to say that it's one of the worst games ever. And something that we should not be doing on the internet is berating it for each other's opinions. I've been seeing a lot of gatekeeping, at least in the Zelda fandom, and also to an extent in the Amazing Digital Circus fandom. Actually, most fandoms I'm in, I've been seeing it, and I don't know if those are just really toxic fandoms. And I'm not gonna get into the Amazing Digital Circus fandom, that is a whole different video in itself. But, back to this game. I think what made this game so special to me is the fact that, one, it's a Zelda game, but two, it came out at a time when I really needed it to, and it helped me through a lot of my issues at the time, and the gameplay of this game, you can get lost in it for hours. It's the same as Breath of the Wild in the way that when you play this game, you're gonna spend at least 5 to 10 hours playing it. I found myself getting lost in it. I think I have 200, 300, 400 hours in this game. It is a fantastic game in my opinion. And I say in my opinion because if I don't say that, people are gonna be like, oh, he thinks that the people who hate Tears of the Kingdom are wrong. No, they have the right to think that way. And I'm not gonna say the story doesn't have holes. Not gonna say that there's things in this game that has missed potential. Because there is. There's a lot in this game that is missed potential. And I will get into that in a little bit. This game came out May 13th, I believe, 2023. And that was a time when I think I was just ending my junior year of high school. And I was so excited for this game. Seriously, I was so excited for this game, and I think a lot of people were too. It was hyped out for 6 years. We waited 6 years for this game to come out, and I think that's why a lot of people now are criticizing it. And I'm not saying you can't criticize it. Let me be clear. I think it's good to criticize a game. I don't think it's good, though, to criticize the game, and then when other people have a different opinion, be like, hey, your opinion is wrong! Mine is right. No, we're not doing that, okay? This is a little bit of rambling, it's a little bit of a rant. I apologize. This video is kind of going to be ranty, mostly because I don't really have a script in mind for this. Just want to get my thoughts out on what exactly is going on, what the hell is going on with the Zelda fandom? That's the question, isn't it? Very toxic. Has been since I think since the beginning of time, before I was even born. I mean, there's a lot of dissent when Zelda games come out. For example, with Skyward Sword, there was a lot of dissent for that game, because motion controls were bad. Everyone hated it. And now, people don't think that way anymore. Everyone's like, oh, Skyward Sword's an amazing game, maybe we're too hard on it. And I think that might happen for Tears of the Kingdom as well, where people might look back on it and be like, maybe we were too hard on Tears of the Kingdom for, it has some issues. It's not a perfect game. Maybe it's not as great as Breath of the Wild was to a lot of people. To me, they're kind of on the same par. I didn't love Breath of the Wild when it came out. But that was mostly because I love the traditional Zelda formula. My favorite game is Twilight Princess. Basically the most traditional of Zelda games. And so, yeah, when that game came out, we didn't really have any temples, any dungeons. I was like, what the hell are we doing? Divine Beasts for fun. And it's a fun game, and the story's great, and the DLC is amazing. Like, it's an amazing game. But it's just, to me, like, that's not what I wanted out of the Zelda game. I wanted traditional dungeons. I wanted music, which didn't happen in Tears of the Kingdom, but we did get a lot more of the stuff that I actually really enjoy of the game. We got more of traditional bosses and traditional dungeons in a way that makes sense for this game. Because I don't think you can go full-on traditional Zelda dungeon in a Tears of the Kingdom open world game. It just wouldn't make sense. And for what this game was going for, I think it got right. I think it's a fantastic game. I think anyone who loves Breath of the Wild will love this game. And that's what it succeeds in. In regarding my criticism of this game, I would say the story is a little bit, has some holes. I wouldn't say it's bad. I say it works for this game, and I enjoy it. It's a fun story. It works well for what this game is trying to go for. It just doesn't give me that more of what I want from it. Because this game started out amazing. Like, you're under Hyrule Castle, you see this Dihydra Ganon who knows Zelda and Link's names. Like, oh my god, how do they know Zelda and Link's names? And then, you follow kind of Zelda into the past, and then a whole thing happens. And when that stuff happens, I feel like there is some plot holes. And those plot holes, for me, that I see, are when Rauru and Sonia meet Zelda. And Zelda is like, oh, this isn't from my era. Oh, I'm the Princess of Hyrule. And they're like, oh, we're the king and queen that founded Hyrule after all. Like, I understand what you're trying to go for here. It just doesn't feel all that natural to me. And I'm a story writer, to be clear. I have written a novel, so I do know of a lot of these things that I understand why people are saying that this game has a lot of plot holes. It does. Let's be honest here. This game has a ton of plot holes that need to be fixed if we wanted to tell an amazing story. And I get that this was kind of on the back burner for what Nintendo was trying to convey with this game. Because a lot of this game is focused on gameplay. And if you enjoy the gameplay, you're gonna love this game. If you are in for, like, a story-driven plot, maybe it's not the game for you. I'm just gonna be honest here. Maybe it's not the game for you. I love story-driven plots, so at first I was like, I don't know if I love this game, and so I didn't try and complete it until, like, a year or two later. Which is why I'm making this video. And I just came to realize, because I rewatched the story, and I was like, for what it is, it's serviceable. It does what it needs to do. Which is what probably Nintendo was going for with this story. They weren't trying to tell something bigger than life. They were just trying to tell a story that fit their world. And I think that's awesome. And I think the story is awesome. There's a lot of moments in this story where I'm like, wow, that's awesome, or wow, that's amazing. And there's other moments where I'm like, really? That being said, I do feel like Ganondorf is one of these plot holes, because I feel like Ganondorf in this game isn't all that threatening. And I don't say that as like, oh, well, he didn't do anything. It's just more of, personally, I never felt an incentive to go and fight him. Like, I don't, like, there's moments in the story, like, where I'm like, oh, wow, he's going to destroy Hyrule. But then that's, like, every game. And maybe that's just a Zelda thing, I don't know. But I felt like all the other Ganondorfs I fought previously were more threatening. Like, in Twilight Princess, when Midna says, oh, we gotta save Zelda because she was sacrificing her power to save Midna. Or when she was stuck in the castle with Ganondorf, who we didn't know what he was gonna do. And, for example, in Ocarina of Time, even in that game, well, it's very similar to the Ganondorf in this game's drive for power and trying to take over Hyrule, use his monster army to take over and claim absolute power. I think that Ganondorf in that game does a better job of being threatening, because you're a child, you go into the Temple of Time to stop him, but you end up playing right into his hands, allowing him to take over the kingdom while you're put into a 7-year slumber. And while you're in that 7-year slumber, you realize that the entirety of Hyrule is different than when you were last there. For example, Castletown is overrun by Gibdo, and you have to fight your way to be able to save this land that you thought you were going to save. And in a way, it's all your fault, because you're the one who let him do this in the first place. And that in itself is such a great way to build up suspense for a villain. I don't feel that way when it comes to Ganondorf from Tears of the Kingdom. There are things that make me want to fight him, like for the fact that, he killed a lot of people. Like, he killed Rauru, he killed Minoru, he killed all these people, and he destroyed all these towns. But it just doesn't hit the same as Ganondorf from Ocarina of Time or Ganondorf from Twilight Princess. To me, it's just feels like, oh, Big Bad does this thing, which is fine. That's the story they're trying to go for, and it's a fine way to go about a villain. All this being said, I think that's what bums a lot of people about this game, that it's not something bigger than what is shown. They wanted this game to reach as high as they felt when they played Breath of the Wild. Personally, I did feel those highs, but I also felt those lows, and so I could understand why a lot of people have these criticisms. That being said, I don't agree with the way they're treating the fandom. As I've mentioned at the beginning of this video, a lot of people in the fandom are attacking each other just for liking Tears of the Kingdom or for not liking the game. I think gatekeeping has its place in regarding the way the fandom's treating this, but I don't think gatekeeping has its place when it comes to these certain games. When it comes to people having opinions or someone saying something that they really deeply feel and then someone else berating them for thinking or having that opinion. That's the kind of gatekeeping I want to keep out of this fandom. I realize that I am not really a speaker of that sort of thing, but I do just want to bring it to attention to whoever who might watch this video, that is something going on in their fandom. And it's something, at least in the community I want to start on this channel, I want to keep out. To wrap up this very long rant, I think Tears of the Kingdom is a wonderful game. I think it's a game worth playing, and I think it's a game worth beating. If you have the chance, I would tell you to pick up a game, turn off your brain, and just play some Legend of Zelda. Doesn't have to be Tears of the Kingdom, could be any game. Just appreciate it for what it is. Live in the moment, not think too deep about every aspect of the game, but just enjoy it.